Hey everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome to the latest edition of Bobcast. I'm Dr. Bob Norman Jr. and I'm coming to you live with, again, I said the latest edition of Bobcast. And if you look at the title, you'll see that it's titled Mindset Part 2. Who do you think you are? First of all, forgive me, I accidentally shaved my beard off today. It's a whole story, you'd love it. So I'm feeling a little bit strange here without the facial hair. Let's jump right into this. Before I do, I want to, as always, thank you for being on if you're on live or if you're watching later, the recorded version. Second of all, to ask you to please share these Bobcasts out. Like I mentioned every week, I do these for people who may need to make some changes in their life, have some things that they're not happy with, things that they want to improve, achieve, accomplish, or experience, right? And they're just not getting there. So you never know who may need to hear what we're talking about today. Thirdly, it'll be posted on my YouTube channel, which is also connected to my website, which is www.bobnormanjr.com. I have a vlog on there, which is connected to my YouTube channel, which is also connected to the Facebook page, and I will post the link in the comment section below as well. So let's just jump right into this. So in the title, as I said, it says Mindset Part 2, Who do you think you are? I think this is the most important topic regarding mindset that we can talk about. Who do you think you are? So I'll start off, by asking a question. Who did you want to be, or who were you before the world told you who you were supposed to be or who you needed to be? Have you ever thought about that? How did you get where you are with the feelings that you have, the opinions that you have, the prejudices or the likes or dislikes or fears that you have, or the confidence that you have? How did you get where you're at? Did you get there by choice, or is it a result of people who kind of shaped you and molded you throughout your life, especially as a kid, right? So who shaped your mindset? Was it your parents? Was it your grandparents? How about your siblings? Neighborhood kids? Maybe your friends at school? Maybe a bully shaped who you are. Maybe the television. All of these things shape who you are when you're a kid. Whether you stay that way as you get older is up to you. Most people do not understand that point. So most people just go on being who the world tells them they're supposed to be. Have you ever seen my posts that say, are you an individual or simply a reflection of what others expect you to be? I used to be a reflection. I'm not anymore, but I used to be. Most of us, I would say, are simply reflections of what other people expect of us. When I was around a certain group of friends, I was the funny guy. When I was around another group of friends, I was this guy. So I had a mask, so to speak, for every situation. Now that, I don't want you to think that that means that I was being fake, but I only let that certain part of my personality out in relation to what they expected from me. We all have different aspects of our personality, different aspects of who we are. We're made up of a bunch of different things. So I don't want you to think that I'm saying that you shouldn't be, but what I'm saying is, are you being true to you? Do you even know who you are? Do you even know really what you like and dislike? And again, I will say that our parents, our grandparents, our neighborhood friends, our school friends, bullies, TV, all of that stuff influenced us as we were growing up. I will not talk politics or anything else like that on this podcast, but I will say that the current generation is certainly much, much, much different from my generation. We grew up watching Archie Bunker. My favorite was Sanford and Son, right? George Jefferson. We grew up watching these people who made jokes about race, about everything, about sex, about everything. And we laughed our butts off because nobody got offended. These days, everyone's offended about everything. Everything offends people. And I really think it's because of the shaping and molding that TV has done. I think media is a big part of that. So I want you to ask yourself, are you who you want to be, or are you someone who you were influenced to be? Okay? Now, I want to say, I got a couple of things I want to read to you, but I'm going to bring this point home by reading this one thing, and I'm going to tell you why this is so important. Okay? So I posted this the other day on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. But it says, easy to spot a yellow car when you are always thinking of a yellow car. Easy to spot opportunity when you're always thinking of opportunity. Easy to spot reasons to be mad when you're always thinking of being mad. You become what you constantly think about. Watch yourself. Now, I'm going to throw a scientific term at you. This is actual science. So when you see me post something about what are you focusing on, it's not just because it's a cool saying. It's because it's actual science. And it's called RAS, or Reticular Activating System. And what that simply means is, have you ever decided that you were going to buy a new car, used car, new to you, truck, motorcycle, anything like that? And when you finally decide, I did this a couple years ago when I went and bought the current vehicle that I'm driving, which is a Ford Explorer. And it's like this, I think it's called desert sand color or whatever. But anyway, I didn't know much about the Ford Escape. Explorers are a big one. The Ford Escape. I didn't know much about them. I've had Explorers, Expeditions, all this. Didn't know much about the Escape. But when I decided that I was going to get this one because it was a good deal, it had all the features that I wanted in a vehicle. Once I decided to get that vehicle, all I saw on the road were Escapes. I saw them everywhere. I couldn't believe how many Ford Escapes were on the road. Well, they were always on the road. It's just that I wasn't focused on them before. Once my mind started focusing on the vehicle that I was buying, I started to notice them everywhere. And that's your reticular activating system in action. And that's why when you focus on problems, when you focus on or solutions, or when you focus on how bad everything is in the world, or when you focus on doing good, that's why you manifest the things that you focus on. I'm going to throw this one at you. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Going to repeat that one. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. That is where the reticular activating system comes into play. Because if you're constantly focusing on what you can't do, who do you think you are? I'm from Hibbs, for God's sake, 18 houses, right? Who do I think I am? Picture right behind me and Victor Ortiz. I was a paid extra in the movie Southpaw with the Jake Gyllenhaal, Forrest Whitaker movie. And during the break, while everyone was fawning over the actors, I went to see this guy who was actually world boxing champion. This guy actually did it. It was a boxing movie. He didn't fake it like the movie. This guy did it. I went over and saw him. We hung out, talked, got my picture with him. Who did I think I was to be able to go over and do that? I thought I was just like him, right? So who do you think you are? Who do you think you're not? Those are big keys that will determine your success or your failure. How do you talk to yourself? When something happens, and I've mentioned this one before, And I'm going to bring up a couple of more sayings here that I want to throw at you before we leave. You saw this one on my Facebook recently too. It says, your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. As you think, so shall you be. You will become what you think you are. Ever seen the saying that says, hang around 5 millionaires and you'll be the sixth one? Hang around 5 in-shape people and you'll be the sixth one. Hang around 5 well-read or intelligent people and you'll be the sixth one. Hang around 5 bums and you'll be the sixth one. That's why. You're architect of your own destiny. Here's the third one I want to throw at you. And this one says, sometimes the thing that's holding you back is all in your head. I'm going to say the thing that's holding you back is always in your head. It could be someone else, it could be some obstacle that popped up, but how you react to it is what's going to determine your success or failure. So don't forget what I talked about that. Hey, Jerry Brown, what's going on? Don't forget what I talked about the reticular activating system. What you focus on, you will manifest in your life, period. Remember the example of the Ford Escape. Once I decided to buy it, that's all I saw everywhere, all over the place. Couldn't believe how many there were out there. Well, they were always there. It's just I wasn't focused on them. So you get to decide who you are. If you had a crappy upbringing, if you had people in your life that molded you to be negative, that molded you to think you couldn't do anything, if you're an adult, you get to fix that. You get to decide that. You also get to decide if you don't want to fix it, if you just want to just go ahead and go on, keeping on. I mean, that's totally up to you. But this right here, your mindset, how you focus, what you focus on, and what you think you are and what you think you are not, are what are going to determine what kind of life you have. I mentioned the Victor Ortiz thing. I had a meeting with a brilliant doctor that may want to work with me. We're going to do some collaboration. Travel the world. I mean, just a great, brilliant guy. Who the hell do I think I was to be able to meet with him? Well, I know who I think I am. But I know that I didn't sit there thinking I wasn't capable of being in that meeting with him or talking on his level, because I know I was. If I thought differently, I wouldn't even have been there, because I'd have been out of my league. So, who did you want to be before the world told you who you should be? Who shaped those opinions of yourself? And are you doing anything about them? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're not? And remember the reticular activating system. What you focus on, you will become. Period. Mindset is everything. You do not have to be a millionaire to be happy. And if you're poor, you don't have to be miserable. You get to decide what your life is like, and no one else, unless you let them. I'm going to jump off here. I rambled. It's an extremely, it's the most important thing that you can wrap your head around is your mindset. Your mindset will determine everything in your life. I'm going to do another episode about mindset next week. Until then, again, I want to thank everyone who got on. I want to thank those of you who are watching later on the recorded version. Remember, this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. It'll also be posted on Facebook. Obviously, it's on my personal page, but it'll be on my Bob Norman Jr. page and on my Best Life 101 page. The link to the YouTube channel will be in the comment section below as soon as it's uploaded. It'll also be available if you want to go onto my website, which is www.bobnormanjr.com. Go to the blog section. I actually have a vlog, but it says blog. If you go to blog, you'll see the videos there, and they're connected over to my YouTube channel as well. I appreciate everybody being on. Please, please, please share these out, because like I said at the beginning, you never know who needs to hear what we're talking about on here. Have a great rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. And I'll see you next week on the next episode of Bobcast. Thanks for jumping on.